We talked about it already. Undefeated on the road, undefeated at home, two teams squaring off, and two young teams that I think that everybody in the NFL was excited about before the season started. Things have kind of tapered off a little bit for Houston, but they're still one of the young and up-and-coming teams. A guy that I'm really worried about this weekend is Will Anderson. Obviously, Danielle Hunter as well. Yeah. I think that Jared Goff is going to have his work cut out for him. But I know that we've got some interesting clips to go to today.
Oh, do we?
I believe
you got to talk to that man over there.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at him for sure. But so I mean, listen.
No, we ain't got him.
Oh, we don't. Huh?
No.
Oh, we're just.
No, you think me and KG are messing around? No, you see,
right.
you see what Maz put together? I'm Nancy Pelosi, right? Like, no, we're gonna talk some sports. We're gonna talk some ball.
Let's have fun, baby. Let's have fun.
This is a Friday free for all show. The parents are out of town. Yep. The kids get to mess around and have some fun
without cursing.
He did a good job putting it together. We could talk about those topics, but I'm not downloading all those clips. I'm not doing all that today, Anson. Like you,
where are these guys today anyway? Are they golfing or something?
I mean, Maz is at a funeral.
Yeah,
so
okay, fair.
So
Godspeed.
The other two, I can't speak to.
The other two, I don't know. I got a text from Braylon yesterday. Like, Stick, I'm not working.
All right, so on Wednesday I was here. Honestly, for all week we've been talking about Zadarius Smith, a new addition to the Lions. Hopefully we'll get a chance to see him a little bit this weekend.
Yep.
We posed a question to the chat on Wednesday when I was here. Put the number, kind of a lofty number, of 11.5 sacks of the over-under. I'd like to hear from both of you guys. A guy who has 5 sacks coming into this team where he is supposed to be the man on the defensive line, where do you guys see this guy finishing sack-wise?
He's got 5 already. I expect him to finish with 10. I expect him to have double-digit sacks. And the reason why I wouldn't go over that number, because I know fans' expectations are through the roof for this guy, and rightfully so. He's not the same player that he was, but he's still very productive as a 32-year-old edge rusher in this league. He's going to be a focal point. I mean, he's not Aiden Hutchinson, but other teams are going to treat him like he's Aiden Hutchinson because he's your best pass rusher at this point. And we already know what Zadarius Smith brings to the table. He's a pressure machine. He's going to get in the backfield. He can bring the quarterback down. So a lot of teams are going to game plan for that, but what I expect that to do is open everything else up for everyone else. I mean, DJ Reader, Aleem McNeil's been a monster. To get that kind of help on the D-line is absolutely going to help him flourish. And even Josh Paschal, and somebody, that is having an okay year. We expect a little bit more out of him. He's been dealing with some injuries as well, but him coming back to this fold and having a Zadarius Smith on the other side of him, that can only pay dividends, man. So I expect them to open up everything for everybody else, but I don't see why he can't get 5 sacks.
What about you, Stick?
We're talking about Zadarius Smith?
Yeah.
How many sacks I think he's going to get?
Double digits?
How many games are left in the season? What do they got? 10 games left?
Yeah. Oh, wait, no, it's week 10, so 7.
7 games left? I could see him picking up. Let's go 6 more sacks.
You got 9 games,
so
right?
I'll put him at 11. When I was talking to D-Mac earlier this week, he talked about like acquiring talent like this and how soon you get them into the system. And he said, these guys, you put right in the game, and especially at the defensive end position, it's more see ball, get ball.
Yeah, plug and play.
You're not really a linebacker having to call out keys, having to figure out blocking assignments. You're not a DB having to figure out your zone, having to figure out all that stuff. Listen, you're the defensive end. It's a passing down. Go get that quarterback and take him to the ground. And I think once you take all the thinking out and you just let this guy be a monster that he is, which Equiminius said he was, an absolute dog, then you let him go. And you let him go early and you let him go often. I feel bad for the guy. He didn't get a bye week this season.
Yeah.
But we ain't got time to worry about your bye week, man. Go get sacks.
They gave him a few days off. He'll be all right.
Oh, yeah. Did you see Bugs? Did you see Isaiah Bugs tweet about that?
No. What did he say?
No, Snacks. I'm sorry.
Snacks Harrison.
Yeah, you see Snacks Harrison's tweet? Because they talked about how they were giving him a break before putting him right into practice and all that. He's like, man, they made me play with swollen knees right off the plane. He's like, that's how much this organization has changed.
Right.
And, for him to say that just about everything that's going on with the Lions, it's beyond what they, just acquiring a guy. It's how they treat him when he gets here, too.
Yeah. And I feel like personality-wise, this guy is coming there pissed off, ready to prove himself, even though he's been in the league for this long. He's never gotten the spotlight. Yeah. And he's thrust into a position where not only are we going to have the microscope on him and his play on the defensive line, but the nation has their microscope on the Lions right now. Now, KG, you brought up Josh, don't call me Zach Pascal. this is a guy that after the Lions drafted, people were kind of questioning that pick right when it happened.
Yeah.
And we've never really seen this guy live up to where he was drafted. But there's never been a better opportunity than this second half of the season right now. Where do you think he finishes? What kind of effect do you think he has? And can he live up in this second half, kind of the way Iffy did last year to his draft status?
Well, I mean, the biggest thing with Josh Paschal has been injuries. We got to just call it what it is. He's had injuries on the field, and, of course, we know what he deals with off the field, with his cancer diagnosis and things of that nature. Thankfully, he's okay. He had a non-cancerous mass removed from his shoulder, over the last couple weeks, and he had to rest back up. But ultimately, I mean, he hasn't been bad when he's been available. That's the biggest thing with him. He's normally not available, but when he's in there, he provides you a presence. He can pressure the quarterback. He doesn't get home a whole lot. I think he only has, 2 or 3 sacks on the year. Not bad, but what they're expecting of him, and to your point, he's a second-round pick. We all know what the history behind second-round picks were before this regime took over. But overall, I mean, they haven't gave up on this kid, and I think that's a big key. They expect big things out of him, and now more than ever is the time to go out there and prove that you belong on this team. You're going to get more opportunities than you would normally get when you have a Marcus Davenport or Aiden Hutchinson on that line. So I expect him to be good, man. He's been better than, James Houston. I know the James Houston train has kind of came and went, in that regard. Still a contributor to this team, don't get me wrong, but you expect Josh Paschal to be that main key reserve or that, in this case, starter on that defensive line.
And realistically, if you are Josh, this is the moment you've been waiting for since you became a Detroit Lion.
Exactly.
No doubt about it. Going on to, Taylor Decker. This is a guy who was a little banged up in a major piece of this line, but he has struggled a little bit this year. The offensive line has shown a couple of cracks. They're getting older. They're battling a lot of injuries, clearly. Are you guys worried right now about our offensive line holding up through the rest of the season?
No.
No.
I ain't got no worries. I ain't got no worries.
That's a classic.
Yeah, no, listen, this is a part of the game. It's not if, it's when. They're going to get hurt, and I'm not worried about it. I know it's going to happen, but so's every other team. I mean, you saw it with the Vikings. Christian Darrisaw goes down. You see it with, who did we play last week? The crappy Packers.
Yeah.
That was their, believe, third center.
The crap Packers?
Yeah, the crap Packers. But you saw that was their third center, and those center quarterback exchanges were awful throughout the entire course of that game. The best part about this team is the depth, right? Zeitler went down. Did it make really a big difference?
No, it didn't.
We played a couple.
Coyote played
well. Just
right.
in the first series.
You're right.
That was about it.
We played a couple games without Ragnow. Did that make a huge difference? No. You're going to play a couple games without Decker. Unless it's Penei Sewell, I'm not going to get too worked up about it, honestly. Penei Sewell's probably the one piece that you can't miss from this puzzle because he is the guy that can go play anywhere too. If Decker does have to be out for 4 to 6 games or 2 games or whatever it is, you slide Penei over there, and now Jared Goff's blind side is still just as good as it was, maybe if not better than Decker being over there.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what it's going to come up to is keeping Jared Goff upright. I know I'm going to give it to you, Stick, because I know you've been a Jared Goff denier since day one.
Denier?
I'm joking.
Denier?
I'm joking.
Don't make me cut you off this camera.
You're right.
I will mute your microphone from this booth.
He could do that.
Jared Goff is scorching right now. When it comes to efficiency and accuracy.
Tell me more.
He's been so good that Madden this last week went and updated the guy, and I know you're a Madden guy.
Finally?
I know you're a huge Madden
So
guy.
he's not an 82 or whatever he started the year off as?
They jumped his
89,
play action up to a 96, his accuracy up, and I think that's very, very well deserved. Listen, Mr. Jared Goff himself, Stick, take the floor. Tell us why this guy's been so good and what he means to not only this team but the city of Detroit.
How much time we got left in the show?
Right.
An hour 30?
The official
Well,
Jared
listen,
Goff
you got
spokesman
3
of
more
Woodward
minutes to the break, so take them.
If I'm talking Jared Goff, we could talk through the breaks.
No,
that's
seriously,
how
he'll go all
important.
day.
I mean, honestly, it's one of those things where, all joking aside, I don't know where to start with what this guy has meant for the city, meant for this team, and what this city has meant for him too. And that's the coolest part about this relationship is it's not a one-way street where Jared Goff is just pulling energy from us or we're just celebrating Jared Goff. You see that we breathe life into this city. And you can talk to Darren McCarty, who always tells you the people are my battery. And this city's got some big batteries, especially for a guy like Jared Goff, who's made us the king of the North, because we love this underdog story. That's just part of our DNA here in Detroit. We love the guy that L.A. casts off, especially L.A., right?
That's right.
Oh, yeah, that plastic city. Okay, well, we're the hard workers of the entire United States. We're the ones who build stuff here in Detroit. You guys are the ones who fake and make movies, right? Like, that storyline is awesome. Him and Ben Johnson and Dan Campbell getting on the same page is awesome. Brad Holmes knowing that he was the guy from his time in LA and being like, okay, not only do I know that these morons in LA don't appreciate the hot chick that they have right in front of them, I know I can go get him plus a couple first round picks for the guy here that that the relationship hasn't worked out in Detroit. You know, great that Stafford went out there and won, but what this has led to and the trajectory of the Detroit Lions and just the steadfast, the calm, it's wild to me that we're here. I love Jared Goff, right? We all know this, but even he's exceeding my expectations, and I put his ceiling through the roof because when we got him, that was my argument. If I wrote down on a piece of paper here, right here, and I wrote first round pick, number 1 overall pick, 26 years old, took his team to a Super Bowl, and I didn't have a name on it, but I handed it to everybody. You'd be like, the Lions are getting a Super Bowl caliber quarterback that's 26 years old and was a number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
And he's not injured? Like, there's no injury here. Oh, I can't speak highly enough.
I will never tire of listening to you wax poetically
I swear.
over Jared Goff.
I swear.
Shout out to one of our day ones in the chat, my man Adam Morency.
Shout out,
believes
Adam.
that Jared Goff should get a key to the city. Listen, before we head to the break, I got to say this. When we had Matt Stafford, we all thought that this country boy kind of he fit in and represented that hardworking blue-collar city that we are. And we felt like Jared Goff was right at home on the West Coast. But now that we've watched them switch teams, quarterback is more suited to be exactly where they are right now.
That's a fact.
Yeah, Stafford's a Hollywood dude.
Yep.